Dear youth, respected elders, and beautiful friends, throughout my life I have dealt with finance and money, built greenhouses, poured concrete, and witnessed harvests from seeds, and I learned this: wealth is not determined by what you have, but by what you don't need to have. Now let me tell you about two houses. Same city, same neighborhood, similar rent. The first house belongs to someone who earns 100,000 liras a year. Inside the house, you see a giant screen television, a 14,000 lira L-shaped sofa, kitchen appliances still sitting in their boxes, clothes with tags still on them, and a room full of items untouched for years, covered in dust. This man feels distressed when he looks at his bank account. If he misses 2 paychecks, he goes under. The second house belongs to someone who earns 50,000 liras a year. When you walk in, you feel a sense of openness. A simple sofa, no unnecessary kitchen appliances, clothes that are actually worn, and a neatly kept guest room. This man feels at ease when he looks at his account. He has 18 months of savings and invests 18% of every paycheck. Look, with nearly half the income, he is 10 times more financially secure. This is not a matter of income, my young friends. This is a matter of understanding what the things we own truly cost us. When I was growing celery in my greenhouses, I saw this. Every seed has a cost, but the water that waters it, the coal that heats it, and the tent that protects it, each carry a separate cost. In life, everything has a price, my friends. Every item has a purchase cost and also a carrying cost. Did you buy that treadmill? It becomes a shelf in your home that pays 4,000 to 5,000 liras in annual space rent without ever being used. That yacht? You give 10% of its value every year just for maintenance before it ever touches the water. Moreover, our minds also pay the price. The clutter around us raises our stress levels, makes it harder to focus, and quietly, silently, destroys us from within. And what about opportunities? The 15,000 liras you spent on a home gym could have been an investment turning into 50,000 over 15 years. You traded it away for a room instead of your freedom. That is why I always tell young people this. Before buying something, calculate the cost and usage. A 2,000 lira jacket worn twice costs 1,000 liras per wear. A 4,000 lira jacket worn 200 times costs 20 liras per wear. The expensive becomes cheap, the cheap becomes expensive. This calculation kills impulsive desires. Then ask yourself this question: if we didn't need this item tomorrow, would we go out and buy a new one? If the answer is no, that item is already controlling us, not us controlling it. Among my farmer friends at the seed dealer, the most purchased and most needed items are seeds, not the ones sitting there like ornaments. Arrange your home, your life, and your budget accordingly. Do not make impulsive spending decisions out of boredom. If your phone works, if your car runs, if your summer house lets you vacation, that is already enough. The most powerful tool in financial management is not a rule, but a definition. What does enough mean for me? When I was founding my concrete factory, I was dreaming of a luxury car. Then I calculated how much value that car would add to my business, realized it would bring no benefit whatsoever, and invested that money into a second factory. Now that factory is worth 50 cars. Measure your wealth not by what you own, but by what you are capable of doing. Can you quit your job? Can you take a 6-month break? Can you run to someone you love? Can you start the business that lives in your heart? All of this becomes possible with the wealth that the things you don't need leave behind for you. Owning fewer things is not living less, dear friends. Owning fewer things is living free. Once you establish this order, it allows you to save more with less money, feel more secure, and spend less until your money no longer manages you, but you manage your money. The man in the first house is a slave to his income. The man in the second house is the master of his own life. Both stand before you. The choice is yours. Dear friends, follow the path of the work you love in your life. If you subscribe to the channel, we can move forward together on this road. Don't forget to check out the new videos for greater earnings.